Okay. Okay. Welcome back. This is Delane England. I'm with Loving Liberty Network and also the chair of Principal Liberty Foundation. And I have Corinne Johnson joining us. And Corinne is the founder of Utah Parents United and DSD Parents.
Yes, DSD Parents focused on choice and education. That's our Facebook group. Yeah. And you can find us at utahparentsunited.org.
Okay, fantastic. So please jump in there. The nice thing, if you go get on there, you can sign up and then you get the alerts. We're working together. You're going to get so much great information. You'll be able to join our legislative training. It will help so much to understand the power that you have as a citizen, how to get involved and be effective and use your time efficiently. We ask everyone to donate 20 minutes a day to their own liberty and to the liberty of our state. And it's amazing how much we can get done if a whole lot of us will donate 20 minutes. And of course, Corinne and I are donating a lot more than 20 minutes, but we're really, really happy to do that. So we're going to discuss, this time we're going to be discussing some of the bills that we're working on that we are priority that will affect our families and our children, because that's our job as mothers and fathers, is to protect our children and provide a free and wonderful society and state for them to grow up in. So we're going to start with HB 38. The HB means it's a House bill. 38, it's called School Technology, and it is in rules right now. But Corinne, do you want to tell a little bit about what this bill does?
So I am actually hoping you can share some insight on this one. What I'm most excited about this bill is oftentimes when we're in legislation, we're consistently saying no, 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 and all these horrible bills. And this is an opportunity we have as parents and as members of the state of Utah to get behind a bill that's positive and will make a difference in protecting our kids from one of the most harmful things, the new drug, pornography. And so this is really, really important. And this is a yes bill. We're really excited about this one.
It is, and I love that because I love being in favor of something. I love being for something instead of always being against something. So yes, HB 38 is sponsored by Representative Segmiller, and it's called School Technology Amendments. And it basically just says that obscene and pornographic material, which it has the definition of that, it cannot be, it's taken as a whole, it's not serious literary, artistic, or political or scientific value, then it is restricted from our school technology. So it's basically, all it is taking pornography out of our school technology, making sure that our children's computers and pads and phones do not have pornography in them, just protecting our children from that. So it's not stopping pornography from happening, it's stopping it from happening in our school technology. So it's a great bill, great sponsor, he's awesome. And we really need parents to get involved and let your legislators know, we love this bill, please support it. It is good for our citizens and really good for our children.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. So we will be letting you guys know where this bill is going to be going. We'll be tracking it, and then we'll put out alerts. And like we talked about in the legislative training, these bills move really, really fast. So if you want to go in and track it yourself, which we just learned, that is an awesome thing to do. So go find it, track it, get the emails yourself, but constantly be checking Utah Parents United Facebook page or the DSD Facebook page in the mornings. And we'll put out call to actions for you guys with the information, the phone numbers, and the links to your legislators, and all of that will be right there. And then the biggest thing you can do is share that with every parent. Share that with your friends and family, and share our emails. We're also going to try and do the emails. Emails are a little harder because this happens so quickly, but be looking for those calls to actions and sharing those so that we can make an impact.
Yeah, I'm not a big email person myself. I'm not very consistent at checking it on a regular basis, but this is the time of year where you really need to try to check your email and check your Facebook or your alerts. So, because we will let you know on a regular basis. And I was going to say something about that. It's in rules right now, which means it's being decided if it's even going to come out and be voted on. And so when it gets through that, and they will also decide which committee it's going to go to. So when that happens, be prepared. You could even have your email written and ready to go. You can have your your text message ready to go. And then when we say, okay, it's in this committee, we'll give you the committee members, and then you can just like zip it right out to them, because we're just going to give you their phone numbers, their email addresses, and you can zip it right to them, and you'll already be done and ready, which is perfect because there'll be probably another bill that you'll need to act on quickly. Okay, so we're going to move on to HB 93, which is suicide prevention. Now, of course, we're all in favor of suicide prevention. So do you want to tell about this bill, or do you want me to?
I'm going to let you help.
We're winging this. Can you tell? We didn't plan this out very far.
I'm on my phone, and so I can't pull anything up. So I just have my little notes in front of me. So I think this one also is crucial. This is a no bill.
This is a no. This is a bill we have got to kill. No.
We've got to kill this one. And it is so crucial that we have these resources in our schools, especially right now when our children are suffering from the effects of communication deprivation, from the inability to be involved in social activities and the things that help them the most. And rates of depression are astronomically rising across the board in the state of Utah and across the nation. Why would we ever limit our children's access to help? So this is important. So Delane.
So what this bill does, we have a suicide prevention program. It's new. We don't really know how effective it is, but it is for junior high and high school kids. And I think we can safely say that everyone wants to prevent suicide. It's devastating to everyone. It is never, it's never okay. It's never something that we want zero. We don't want anybody to feel so hopeless and so helpless that they would resort to this. And what we do know from experience is we have the DARE program, which is the drug cessation. It's to stop children from doing drugs. They had this DARE program, and what it would go in and talk about drugs and how not to do drugs and not to do them. And what they found is young people actually did drugs more often. Drug usage went up because now kids who were never even considering it, never thought about it, were now intrigued by it, and they had been taught stuff they had never even wondered about. And that is our concern with the suicide prevention. This bill actually opens up suicide prevention to elementary kids. It's not age appropriate. It is not designed. We don't have any children in the state under, 6th grade that have committed suicide this year. So it is not really something that we need to introduce and bring up into the minds of these young children. And I believe the best way, as we were talking about, like, you hate being against something, but the best way to prevent suicide is to teach people, and especially young people, a great reason to live. If we are out there teaching them the passion and the love of life, teaching them to exercise and to have fun, and how to govern themselves and to use wisdom in their life, and to have a purpose, and to understand what they have, dreams, and to start dreaming, that no one would ever want to end their life if they have a passion for life and they see all of the future and what is ahead of them. And that is really the way to teach it. And everyone that feels love and connected, those thoughts don't even enter. So I think we want to teach it in a positive way, and introducing that into the elementary schools is not a good idea. So we're completely against this bill. It is not age appropriate, and we don't even know yet if it's even effective for junior high and high school. So
that's great. Thank you, Delane. When I reviewed it, I had it switched backwards in my head. And so this is why this is so important to do these types of videos, where we can help people understand exactly what the bill is and why we oppose it. And I completely agree that, yes, for elementary school age children, that this is very, very crucial that we get involved to protect them and keep them focused on life and joy and passion of living, and rather than bringing these things into the schools and the subjective thinking that this can create in young children.
Yeah, it really works. And we know that as mothers, we know the more positive we are with our kids, the more happy they are, the more positive they are. And we really have that ability to give them, help them understand and find a passion, find something they love and can get excited about. And okay, our next bill that we're going to discuss is HB 177. This is a very interesting bill. And again,
This
we're
one
really,
makes me nervous. This one really makes
yeah.
me nervous, Delane.
And you know what? It should. It really should. There's a reason that you feel nervous, because what people need to understand, like, this is called health education. And so this one is, let's see, actually, okay, this is in our comprehensive sex education. And what it does is it adds in talking about consent. And what is really true in the state of Utah, this is why I think people need to kind of have a foundation, because if you just read it, you can kind of get, yeah, of course, people should not be having sex without consenting. Nobody should be forced. Everyone can agree on that. I think all of us, at least almost every single one of us, everyone should be able to consent. This is going into sex education into the schools. And here's what is true in the state of Utah. No minor has the authority or legally, no one can consent. Even if two people say, yeah, we're both want to get it on, we want to get going, they both agree, they can't legally consent because of their age. And if your daughter is sexually active with a boy, even though she's agreed to, she can't really consent because of her age. Because in our state, we believe that children should not be sexually active because it causes emotional damage, it causes physical harm. They have there's always a very likely chance they could get pregnant, which completely changes their life. And we want them to wait until they're old enough to make that kind of an agreement and a commitment. So the bill is actually against our Constitution because we can't, a minor cannot consent. So there's no reason to add this language into our bill because it's against our current law and our Constitution. So we are against HB 177 because a minor can't consent.
Delane, I think it's really important to point out as well is there's been lots of research done. We have a study from Harvard and some other, universities, not just, small studies that show that teaching children comprehensive sex education, including things like teaching about consent, teaching about these types of issues, does actually increase and encourage more sexual activity of minors. It does not decrease that. And there is actual studies that show that. And so if we truly are trying to protect our children and help them be healthy and happy again, and have a fulfilled life in the way that we as parents want to choose to teach that, and that is our right to advocate for that, then we need to recognize we have the data and research to back up these types of choices and fight against health education amendments like this that do not protect our children.
That is so true. And evidence has showed that the more you talk about it and the more information you give that's not really necessary to have at that point in their life, then the more sexually active kids are. We know that there are kids that are sexually active. Of course we do. And those kids are going to need more instruction and need more help. So that they really will, because they're already engaging in it. They need to know and understand, but let's not treat every child as if they're all sexually active, because they're not. And most children in our state are taught the values and the reason of abstinence, why abstinence is important, especially when you're so young. And most children in our state do abstain, and they are not sexually active. And we need to respect that of all children. So, okay.
Awesome.
Do you have any other bills that you want to talk